Hello, welcome to the channel and thanks for joining me. Today we've got an unboxing video without the box. The reason being that I picked this one up fairly locally last night, so there's no unpackaging required. Very unusual in fact for me. I live in rural England and it's very seldom that I get to pick up one locally. Most of the boomboxes and what have you that we get on the channel generally are ordered online unseen. This one was only about a 30-mile round trip away, so it was worth going to have a look and pick it up. And as I say, it's a Hitachi TRK-8290 from around 1980. Now, I've featured the 8190 on the channel, so do check that one out. And I think this one's pretty much the same, to be honest, apart from a few cosmetic differences, like the colour of the speaker grills and things like that. But it'd be nice to get inside this one, have a look, just to see if there are any internal differences. So I'll give you a quick walkthrough. Incidentally, one of the things I always look for is that all of the buttons and switches, sliders and things are present and correct, because I think you always get a better end result then once you've refurbished a unit. Also, both of the aerials are complete, they're not bent, they've got their original tips on there, so that's awesome. Right, so a very quick walkthrough of the switches then from left to right. We've got a master function switch which goes from tape to radio to line in and phono, so you can hook up a record player at the back via the RCAs and the ground lug, so that's pretty cool. You've also got your recording volume sliders for left and right, and you can have that manually like that, or you can set it to auto record level as well. You've got a mono and stereo switch. You've got a record mute momentary switch for adding a few seconds of gap in between your tapes. That comes in quite useful actually when you're looking at the DRPS system, which I'll just mention briefly when we get to the tape mech in a moment. You've also got Dolby, just a master on-off switch there, and then you've got your various bias and EQs for your type 1s, your chrome and your metal tapes. Then the meters can show the output levels, plus also your battery strength, tuning strength, all that kind of stuff, and that's accessed via the switch for the meter. And you've got auto frequency control on there as well. EQ is taken care of by virtue of two sliders, one for bass and one for treble, and then for output you've got a left and right separate volume sliders. You've also got a loudness button as well, which gives you a bit of extra oomph, a bit of extra low end as it were at lower volumes, a bit more sort of depth and presence without the high levels of volume if you wanted to. Now in terms of the radio section, you've got 4-band selector switch there, so you've got long wave, medium and short wave, and you've also got your FM there as well, and that's all accessed via the master tuning dial on the top. So that takes care of the sort of features and the controls on the top there. Now it's a 4-way speaker system, so you've got the woofers and then you've got your two little tweeters, which are genuine speakers as well, just above them. Then we move on to the tape section, which has got your regular transport controls, sort of piano style keys there, you know, your stop, record, play, rewind, fast forward, pause. You also got cue and review features on here, and a timer standby switch as well. Now as far as the tape goes, as I say, you do have the DRPS, which is an automatic program search system, so you can kind of go forward a track or 2 tracks or whatever you want to do and search through your tape, and it looks for short gaps actually within the tape as it were, and that's where the record mute switch comes in quite handy. So if you're making your own mixtapes or what have you, you can then add a few seconds of silence, and that'll help the tape to detect the breaks between each track. So let's just give it a quick test then to see what works, and we'll start with the FM. I'll kill most of the lights a minute because they do interfere. The lights can interfere a bit with the FM, so let's see what we've got. If we go to radio and FM, let's see.
Someone's texting just saying juice.
Yeah.
Jelly, sorry.
You just eat some of your sandwich, but you're so scared. Wait off and harness the power of your inner.
Yeah, there's loads of stations there, which is good. Shortwave, probably won't find much on there. I'll just whiz through, but it is picking up, so that's good. Long, what we've got there, medium. Let's just have a quick whiz through medium wave. Yeah, there's one. And okay, long wave, nothing there. I expect the switch is a bit flaky. There we go. And there we go, there is some long wave reception. I'll put the lights back on. So the band switches do work. Just got to clean up the selector switch a little bit. It might be a bit intermittent on the old long wave there, but I think we're going to be all right. Good stuff. So that kind of leaves us with the tape. We'll do the line in and phono as a test once we've cleaned it all up later, but I'll assume that will work for now. But the tape, let's just see. In fact, before we get to that, I can see a same problem that we had with the TRK-8190, and that is that the pause and timer standby switches are stuck in place. Now this particular mech is quite susceptible to dried out grease if it hasn't been used for a long time, and I can see that all of the buttons there are locked in place. The whole mech has seized up, so I think the eject will work. Yeah, the eject works fine because that's kind of on a slightly independent system, on a separate sort of linkage to the side inside there. But as for the mech, the buttons aren't working, the pause is not releasing, so that will be the little pull inside that's probably greased up. We had that issue with the 8190, as I say, and basically the whole mechanism needs kind of degreasing and re-lubing, cleaning up, get all the dust and the goo and the gunk out. No doubt the belts will have turned to tar as well. I think there's 5 belts in this particular mechanism, so we'll have some fun doing that. Yeah, so we'll clean the heads, the capstan, the pinch roller, all the tape path will get cleaned. As I say, we'll clean up and replace all 5 belts and lube the mechanism, get all that working. I can't demonstrate the DRPS auto search system at the moment because it has to be in play mode before you can actually access it anyway. There's no cassette in there, obviously nothing's going to work. The buttons are all seized, and I'm not going to put too much pressure on them because all I'll end up doing is snapping the keys, and that's no good to anyone. But far better to actually just get the thing open and give it a proper service in due course. So yeah, it's all a bit dirty, it's a bit grimy, but overall not terribly tarnished. All the knob switches, buttons are present, so I think it's got some good potential, this one. So I'm not expecting any major problems with it, but we never know. So do please hit the like button, subscribe, and watch out for the service video in the very near future. In the meantime, thanks very much for watching, stay safe, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.